Hey, Math 1 students, Mr. Miller here. I'm actually going to start pouring concrete in about 15 minutes, so I gotta hurry with this. But I had some questions about this week's classwork, the worksheet, so I'm going to go over a similar one right now for you. So let me do that. Jump over here. So this is a similar worksheet. Okay, you're gonna. So let me just talk. First of all, there are obviously clearly multiple choice questions. So you're given an equation, and you got to figure out which one of these graphs references this equation. So if I pull up, see, I don't have the best software for writing to the screen, but we'll make it work. We're all good. So most of them are in slope-intercept form. So remember, is this notion of y equals mx plus b, right? So the m is the slope, right? So if we just think of m right here, that is, if I could change it to red. Oh, never mind. The whole thing changes to red. So I can't just change one letter. I don't have that capacity. Let's just leave it black then. Actually, since it's Anley, let's go blue. Hey, how about that, huh? School spirit. So we want to talk about what's the slope. So if we think of number 1 over here, m is -1. So, we don't show the -1. And it's a -2. So if it's going to be plus b, it's the same as saying plus -2. So what we need then is we need to find a relationship that begins at -2 and decreases, right, by 1. So the slope is negative, so this thing should be going downhill. So it's definitely not A, because A is going uphill, and it's got the wrong y-intercept. Let's look at B. Oh, hey, I want this to come with me. All right, let's look at B. B starts at the right spot, right? It has the right y-intercept, but it's going uphill. And so it's not a negative slope. A negative slope, this slope here implies that when x changes by 1, y goes down by 1. Whereas this one looks like when it changes by 1, it goes up by 1. So we have to ditch B. Okay, we're at C. C has the right slope. Because remember, if it's over 1, down 1, that's the same as going over 2, down 2, which is what this graph is doing, right? It's going over 2, down 2. So this slope looks good, but its y-intercept is at +2, but we need it to be at -2 because our initial problem here is with the subtraction, right? So that means D is going to be the correct answer here. How's the correct slope and the correct y-intercept? All right, let's look at 2. And I don't think I'm going to be able to write fractions all that well with this program, but let's see what we could do. So I'm going to write the fraction as 3 divided by 4. Okay, so it doesn't look totally clean, but that's fine. And again, it's -1, so I'm going to write that as plus -1. And we know to add a negative is the same as to subtract a positive. So why don't we switch that to say -1? Okay. So the slope is 3/4. And what that's going to imply is that when x goes up 1, y has to go up 3/4. Now we don't, it's hard to think about going up 3/4. So what you can do, though, is instead of going over 1 up 3/4, you can go over 4 and up 3. And that'll work out for you. So what we want to do is find a graph that when you go over 4, it goes up 3. Looking at these graphs, I would like it if they counted by 1, right? But notice the graphs are counting by 2, so that's going to make this problem trickier for sure. All right, so A, we're going to dump A. It's got the wrong y-intercept, and this is a negative slope, and we have a positive slope. We need an increasing function. B, I am liking B quite a bit. Its y-intercept is correct, right? Because if this is -2, that's -1. Now we got to see if the slope is accurate. So if we go over 4, does it go up 3? So I'm at 1 right now. So to go over 4 would mean I would want to, well, no, I'm at 0. Sorry, I'm at 0 right now. So I need to go over 4, and I want to be up 3. So if I go over 4, I would be here. And let me see if I can't do this a little bit better for you. No, let's get this red. Oh, I was hoping that would make a little bit more sense. I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand what that was doing. It doesn't looks like it did it again. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. There we go. Okay, we can use this. So I'm here. I could do this. No, this is fine. All right, there we go. So it's a little janky, but there it is. So that's over 4, right? 2, 4. And we want to go up 3. Let's bring it up. Whoa, hey, chill out. Chill out. You good? I have to like lean over because it's kind of small there. I can't see it too well. Okay, there it is. So that's actually up 3, right? Because we have to count by each this line is by 2. So it's 2 and then 1. So this is over 4 up 3. So that is really quite nice. And just because I care, I cannot help but write the slope. I'm sorry, I just can't help it. I can't. I wish I could. I can't. I gotta go here. By the way, I have no idea what it just did. Why did it turn solid red? Ay, ay, ay. I thought that was just gonna change the font. Okay, so let's go clear and clear. And I know, let's just delete it and start over. This is a good problem solving technique. All right, so there you go. I'm over 4. That might be a little hard for you to see. There we go. See that? Over 4. I can even zoom in a little bit here. Zoom in. Okay, so over 4 and up 3. Cool. And the slope starts here at -1. I don't think we need to view all these thumbnails here. All right, so there you go. Right, there it is. So it's going to be B. Let's bring this down. So here we go. There's -1, correct y-intercept, correct slope, cast. Let's do one more here. Let's do these ones. Remember, we studied the x equals and the y equals a lot when we did the Mondrian art. So y equals 5 is a horizontal line where y is always 5. And so already that's going to be A, right? A is a horizontal line, and everywhere on that line, I'm looking at this one, right? Oh, chill out. I'm going to bring a square here. Okay. And I got to go and do this really, okay. Right there, right? So that's y equals 5. This one over here would be a popular answer on a quiz. Like if students got it wrong, this would probably be the way they did get it wrong, because that is 5, but that's x equals 5. Because you want to keep in mind that if you think about y equaling 5, it equals 5. Let me grab a line. It equals 5 right along this line up here. That's where y equals 5. And so this blue vertical line would not, calling it y equals 5 would be a terrible description, because y doesn't equal 5 anywhere except right there. So this would be x equals 5, B. So let's get it up here, because circle the right answer. That's the right answer. Okay, so lastly, we got to do these ones that are in standard form. So when it's in standard form, what we had talked about in class is that, probably put it into slope-intercept form is probably the best way to go about doing that. So if we think about number 2, first thing you want to do is move the x over, because it's what we want. Y equals mx plus b, so we want the y value all by itself. So let's do y is equal to, well, no, it'd be minus 5y is equal to minus 2x plus 0. So what I did is, this is this problem here, and I could maybe get this zoomed in a little bit better for you, and maybe make the font a little bit bigger for you. Okay, so I moved the x value over. So if I was to line it up like that, this would positive 2x. When it's on the other side, it's a negative. That's what happens when you move a term over. Or you could think that I subtracted 2x from both sides. Now I need to divide everything by, I'm also noticing there's no graph to choose from here. So regardless, let's not worry about that right now. So now I got to divide everything by 5. I think the one on the homework, you'd be done right now. I don't think you have to divide by 5, but we want to get y by itself. So if we were to divide everything by negative 5, this would become negative 2 divided by negative 5. And 0 divided by 5 is just 0, but let's leave it as 0 divided by 5 right now. Okay, so that's me dividing everything by 5, negative 5, sorry, negative 5. And I'll just do one more step under, where in mathematics, we don't do a negative divided by a negative, because that's the same as a positive. So I'm going to make them both positive. And then I'm not going to write 0 divided by negative 5, because that's just 0. And you actually don't have to show the 0. So although when I made this worksheet, I didn't make this problem multiple choice, so I can't look at all the possible solutions, we can graph it. So let's just do that. All right, so we got our line. We know we want to start at 0. That should be the y-intercept, right? The plus 0. And we go over 2 up 5. So over 2 up 5. So I want this up there. And like so. So that would be the right graph for this function here. All right. Y-intercept 0, slope is 2/5. A couple of people who asked me questions about that. Thank you. Let me know if this helps. If it doesn't, I'll just make another video later and explain it a different way. Hi, people. Stay hip and be kind to each other. Take care.